Hi Sagittarius, this is your forecast for the month of November 2017. Before I begin though, I'd like to say thank you. My sincere appreciation of your comments, your likes, your subscriptions. You don't know how meaningful those are to me. All right, this is a general reading for Sagittarius Sun, Sagittarius Rising, or Sagittarius Moon. It may be helpful for you to watch your rising and moon sign. You can also join me on Facebook and Instagram for daily insights on tarot and astrology, as well as my pay-per-view channel, vimeo.com/thealchemistastrologer, where you can find on-demand pages for love, finance, and other readings. So, Sagittarius, this first week, something is happening very quickly. You are barreling down toward a destination goal. Now, for some of you, this may tie to a Cancer person. But for many of you, this is going to be a week that centers around travel or transportation or communication. Some of you, maybe you're involved in a conflict. Maybe you're in conflict with another person, or you're trying to reconcile differences. Maybe you are grappling with the light and shadow part of another person, or perhaps within yourself. You could be feeling conflicted. But this is a week where you're trying to find some kind of balance. And you're very determined to get somewhere. You have a clear purpose in mind, and you're putting your energy, your will, your drive, your ambition toward that success of achieving something and making some progress. This is going to be a week where you're having to put out a great deal of effort, but you will find the energy, the resources within yourself to fight for some kind of goal. There's something that you believe in, and you may have to overcome some challenges in order to make it happen. But your focus is on winning in some way. Now, again, there could be some conflicts of interest that are going to trigger your emotions this week. And so you're going to have to, really gain some self-mastery, because your first impulse may be to act in anger or impulsively, or, act on your instincts. And so, part of that may be having to look out for yourself, looking out for your own interests. Whatever it is, your emotions and how you feel, how you think, what you say is making a deep impact on others. And you may not even realize the effect that you're having on other people. This is a week about working in tandem with others. Sometimes you will have to step up to the plate, take the lead, take the initiative, and drive that chariot. Other times you're going to be a passenger. You're going to have to follow. You're going to have to let somebody else lead. Again, issues related to travel, communication that cause you to have to change your schedule in some way. Maybe you have to rearrange your personal life, or cut back on your work, or reschedule some appointments. And for some of you, come up with some new financial strategies to deal with a situation. This is also about being reckless, impulsive, acting too quickly, whether that's with a decision that you're making or literally driving your car. You could be prone to an accident or getting a ticket. This is a week also, though, that strongly ties to your intuition and the ability to listen to that to help you make decisions to keep things moving. You're going to want to be very efficient, because again, there's something that you want to accomplish, and you're going to step into a leadership role in order to make that happen. But there could be some changes from the original plan, some alterations, some rescheduling, some delays, some annoyances, some challenges to deal with. But ultimately, those are going to help you get ahead in some way. Now, this is going to be a week where, something is tied to romance or intrigue or adventure or something unusual. And this is also a week where, if you're not careful, you're going to feel like you're out of control. You may feel overwhelmed, or maybe you're putting your energy in the wrong direction. There's an imbalance of some sort. Now, it could be because you don't know which way to go. You don't know the path to take. Maybe there's even been a failure, or your plans fall through. It could be that there's some unfairness, and that's why you're in a struggle, and that's what's triggering your anger. There's some resentment there. Maybe somebody's being domineering, or they're smothering, or they're insecure, or there are issues of suspicion and anxiety because of a situation. For some of you, again, if transportation is an issue, maybe you're having some car problems, or your trip is delayed, or there's some difficulties with travel, and that's creating some kind of struggle for you. Whatever it is, this could be a week where you really have to keep your eye on the ball. You have to stay, focused. You have to concentrate your efforts in order to make something happen. So this is going to be a week that tests your patience in some way. Whether that's through some kind of mechanical breakdown or some miscommunication or some kind of medical issue that crops up. And again, this is a card that is very obsessive. It's very one-track thinking. And so you may have some very strong beliefs about something, either you or someone in your life. And somebody may be so totally vested in something. They're putting all of their eggs in one basket. They need to have a relationship with this person. Otherwise, life is meaningless. They need to make this goal. Otherwise, there's no meaning to anything. So if you're putting stock in one thing and equating that with your total sense of happiness or well-being, then you've got some security issues to deal with that you need to address. Now, again, this is going to be a week where some things are beyond your control. You're going to make some kind of error in judgment, a personal miscalculation where you misjudge a situation or a person or a circumstance. And because of that, or simply because it's out of your hands, something is not going to unfold either as smoothly or as quickly as you want it to. And you are looking at your relationships. You're putting a critical eye to your connections, and they are going to, enter some new phase of being this week. And what you learn in your exchange with another person, your interaction, is going to give you some insight. It's going to change your perspective and open your eye. So this could be a week where you're moving forward or moving onward. There's a focus, you're motivated. There's something that you want. You're either coming up with a plan or following through with it. And for others of you, you may be driving in no man's land. You're aimless, you're looking for some orientation, and you're going to have to get focused. Now, the second week, you have this Five of Swords, and, this is one of my least favorite cards. It always bodes of some kind of error in the offing for whatever reason. Now, some of you're dealing with, people that are gossips or troublemakers or bullies. It could be that you're in some negative situations that seem to have no type of answer. Somebody may be trying to sabotage a situation, or there could be some spite or some anger, some hostility taking place. You may feel limited in some way, especially if there's been some kind of delay connected to transportation or your communication. Some of you are dealing with people who are manipulative or selfish, and that's what's making you angry. They are destructive, they're seeking revenge, or they're deceitful in some way. So you may feel as if you're having to act in your own self-interest. Now, there could be a conflict or something that comes up where there's some power plays. And, maybe in the worst case scenario, there's some actual illicit or criminal activity and you have awareness of it. There could be issues where somebody gets their pride wounded. They're humiliated or embarrassed about a situation. So this is a week where you have to really tread lightly. Your self-mastery will be important because you're going to have to be careful of going too far, stepping outside of the line, overstepping boundaries. Because if you don't have mastery over yourself, you may, make the wrong decision and do so rashly. Now, it could be somebody's not listening. No, somebody's not listening to somebody's idea. Maybe, somebody's not going along with the program. It could be that your travel, maybe if you had an itinerary, it just gets off track somehow. So you're going to feel frustrated, and that frustration is going to cause you to step up to the plate and take the initiative to correct it. Now, something may occur because you are impatient or you are overconfident. And again, it's going to lead you to take a risk that's unnecessary and in some cases even foolish. In the positive, this is you very determined to move forward on something. You're putting aside the doubt you had, the hesitancy, and you're going to address a situation. You're going to move forward because there's something that you've been wanting the answer to, something that perhaps you've been worrying about, and you need an answer. Of course, you'd like a positive answer, but any kind of answer will do because that's going to help you bring something out into the open and address it and move forward. Now, for some of you, this could be like going in circles, trying to get something going or closing something out. And it may center around some ideas that you have, something that you want to bring to life, or perhaps, feeling attracted to something or someone. And, there's something that you desire, that you want. You're trying to influence a situation. And this week it appears that perhaps you're not making very much headway. It could be that you are under some kind of illusion about something, or you actually do need to take the steps to initiate something. You're having to look at areas where perhaps you have fallen short. Because maybe you were ignoring something or, ignoring yourself. You were taking too many things for granted. A relationship, a situation that needed to be addressed, your health. Something is now coming home to roost. And it may, end up that you get some kind of response that makes you feel, again, humiliated or embarrassed in some way. Whatever it is, it's triggering your ego. It's bringing up emotions. Now, this card is always a warning about being careful about your physical safety. If you're taking medication, make sure that it's the right medication. If you have to pick up a prescription this week, double check the pharmacy. If you've gotten instructions for dosage, double check that. For some of you, there's something mysterious, some illness that you're dealing with, and you don't know exactly what it is, and it's difficult to pinpoint what the root of it is. So again, this is about being very focused. Otherwise, you become distracted and something happens, something negative, a misunderstanding, an accident. And it doesn't have to be very big. It can be something, mundane. Let's say you forget, let's tie it to the chariot and say, you run out of gas, you don't pay attention to the gas gauge, or you leave the door cracked and the battery runs down, or you lock your keys in the car, or again, you're not paying attention, you have an accident, or you're driving too fast and you get a ticket. Something this week could give you a sense of some kind of regret or remorse about something. It could be, perhaps, again, something illegal, some kind of treachery or criminal situation comes to light. Now, the third week, you have the Judgment. So this is a major card, a major week for you, and maybe something is tied to a legal conflict where there's been some treachery or criminal activity, or you've been going in circles, or just the judgment of somebody you're connected to, your judgment about them, they of you. So for some of you, again, this is about a lawsuit. You're dealing with judges or the court system, or you're learning some lessons this week attached to negative karma. For some of you, there's some unwanted endings or major life changes that you didn't want to see happen. And it's causing you to question a situation. Now, for some of you, this is some developmental milestone that you're reaching. There's the end of something and the beginning of something else, but because there's an ending, you're doing an assessment. You're looking at it to see what kind of value that it had for you. For some of you, this could be issues related to children where somebody doesn't want to grow up, or perhaps an adult. Somebody has Peter Pan syndrome. They don't want to accept responsibility or accountability for their actions. You could change your position this week on something that, how you feel about something. It could be the end of a situation, a career change, an identity crisis of some sort. In the positive, maybe there's some new opportunities for you. Maybe you get a promotion or a second chance at something. You're taking something in a new direction that may give you a new life. And this could be because of some self-improvement that you're making. Definitely, there's a self-appraisal. Again, you are questioning the wisdom of, continuing to follow a certain course of action or starting something. And so once again, this is a week where your patience is going to be important. The more that you can see a situation clearly and absorb the truths of it, the more improvement that is going to take place for you this week. Now, for some of you, this is about a clean slate. You want to start all over. And maybe you're trying to heal yourself or regenerate in some way. There are certain issues that you're grappling with, some things that you thought were resolved, and yet they're here again, they're resurfacing. And so you're going to be forced to make some decisions or deal with some information or facts that you wanted to avoid. And in spite of this new information or these developments, this can also prove to be an asset to you, a blessing in disguise in some way, because it gives you the opportunity to rise up, to be something maybe you never thought you could be, to find your best strength, your personal asset. You test your mettle this week. So you get a chance to be your best, to be better, and as a result, it stops you from going down the wrong path. It keeps you from making a bigger mistake. And this is a week where putting it out on the table, clearing the air, and again, the Chariot card in that communication is going to be very key, because the manner in which you communicate is going to allow you to keep some additional misconceptions from forming. Maybe in the process, if you were accused of something or someone else was, this is a week where there's some exoneration, some vindication. Somebody is cleared of an accusation. And so this can be a week of transformation. There's a call to action to do something. And what you do can change a situation that was headed toward a disastrous ending, and you may turn that around and it is a smashing success for you. Now, it's going to take you a while to resolve some situations if you are resistant to it. And if that's the case, you're going to feel out of sync with others. Things are going to be hanging in limbo. So this is a week about addressing old issues, things coming back to life, second chances at something. And, dealing with that is important, because the more you put that off, the more you procrastinate, which is, a weakness for Sagittarius, the more you're going to feel like bad luck is at work. But it's not bad luck. It's just you not addressing something in a timely manner. So, if you're getting the lesson, you're getting ahead. If you're not getting the lesson, you're having to start over, and you're having to keep going over something until you get the lesson. So this is a week where that Chariot card is very important as far as mastering your emotions. The more adept you become at distancing yourself from emotions and just focusing on the facts, the greater your sense of judgment will be. The easier it's going to be for you not to make the wrong choice or the wrong move. Now, some of you, again, this is about opening yourself up to your intuition, your higher self, in order to gain wisdom. You're seeking some kind of knowledge or truth this week that's going to give you a sense of inner peace. And for some of you, that may mean, getting some spiritual guidance. This is a week of judgment, judging yourself, judging others, vice versa. You may be too quick to judge other people. You may be finger pointing. You may be blaming other people for their shortcomings, their mistakes, rather than accepting the truth of your own accountability in a situation. Now, the very last week you have the Moon card. So again, as a major, probably a situation is out of your control. It's out of your hands. And the Chariot card says you have to understand that some things are beyond your control, either because you set something in motion and now it's taking off, or simply it is what it is. So this could be a week that focuses on mother figures, children, parent-child relations. It could be travels or changes, fluctuations in your mood. It could be practicalities. It could be something as mundane as the food, the nurturance that you're giving yourself, physically, emotionally. For some of you, it's about your dreams, a vision that you have, something that you want to accomplish. This could be a week that focuses on delving into the psychological, the emotional, going into the depths of your psyche, dealing with your deep instincts, your past conditioning, childhood patterns, and gaining in your psychic and intuitive awareness. For some of you, this week is very important as far as your dreams or listening to your intuition, but others of you, you're escaping, you're trying to avoid something. There's a tendency to get lost either in a dream world, in an illusion, in drugs or alcohol, through sleeping. But there's something that could be insidiously working against you this week, a hidden enemy, or not realizing that you're working against yourself. Something about this week is mysterious, secretive, hidden, and has an air of confusion about it. So you're going to have to look at things closely. You're going to have to use your judgment. Maybe a judgment about a negative situation or a conflict or traveling or changes or your relationships with other people. And this is a week that honesty is called for. The brutal kind where you strip everything away and lay yourself bare. Now, some of you are really tapping into your connection with another person. You are intuitively linked, whether you're speaking or not. You feel a gut level about what is going on with that person. And you may feel irritable or sad or anxious, suspicious, because you have that gnawing feeling in your gut about something. And you're right. You're going to hear something, or you're going to hear about someone, and it's not going to be pleasant news. For some of you, this link that you have is going to wear on you physically. You're going to begin to feel stressed, or you're going to have some nervous upsets or some mysterious illnesses that are entirely stress related. This is also a week where you have to understand your own emotional needs and where you may be projecting onto others. This is about that need for external validation, where you may need others to like you, appreciate you, understand you, and you go out of your way and overcompensate in order to get that emotional nurturance. And in the process, you leave yourself open and feeling vulnerable to criticisms or actions that people take that may not necessarily be meant to hurt you. So the art of discernment is important this week. Now, some of you, you're having to get to the truth of something. Somebody's wearing a poker face, a game face. They're hiding their true self. And this is a week where you're going to be seeking a deeper truth. Fortunately, whatever has been hidden, whether on your part or the part of others, is going to rise to the light this week. Nothing is going to, all stones will be turned over. It's important for you to deal with your emotions. And that may mean that you need to take a deep breath, meditate, relax, find something enjoyable to do that is distracting for you. And this is about your connection to higher consciousness. And when your mind is still, the universe will drop a solution into your head. And getting this sense of peace or tranquility will allow you to get past negative situations, to master your emotions, to meet your objective without taking it out and lashing out at other people. Now, for those of you who are going in a circle, you can't get past self and your own mastery, you're going to stay stuck in self-denial. You're going to continue to put on those rose-colored glasses because you just can't get past yourself. So you're going to stay stuck with regard to your work, your health, your relationships. You're going to continue to brew that perfect storm of negative energy, fear, and anger that works in a self-defeating cycle to keep that door of opportunity shut for you. It's going to keep you from opening up yourself to change for the better. Now, this is going to be a week where you can easily become overwhelmed. Maybe you have a lot going on emotionally. Maybe you have a lot going on financially or professionally. Whatever it is, investing so heavily emotionally is actually hurting you. It's counterproductive. You are manifesting that which you want to avoid, what you want to escape from. Now, the underlying energy is this Five of Cups. So, this is a month where there is a sense of regret. Perhaps there have been some unhappy endings. There may be a sense of betrayal or pessimism. And it could be because of love relationship problems, marital issues, family problems, dealing with financial issues. Maybe you feel abandoned, let down, sad. And so you're having difficulty dealing with your emotions. All you can see is where you have lost. You don't see what is still there for you to deal with. Those that support you. You may be feeling bitter or resentful or burned out about a situation. And perhaps it ties to your past. Maybe a lover from the past, maybe a love that you lost, or maybe some old friends. Whatever it is, this can be a week where a month where you try to salvage something. Maybe the pain can end. Maybe you rekindle a relationship. Maybe you renew some old ties. Maybe you recover from some past hurts. Because, you don't have to stay stuck in the past. This card has a bridge over troubled waters. Now, again, you are looking at your judgment about how maybe you have participated in something. You're questioning yourself or where you're headed or your work or your objectives or your goals or the people that you're connected to. And so you're in conflict. You're having a battle with self between your logic and your emotions. And once again, it's going to be especially important for you this month to take care of you by trying to uplift yourself, changing your mindset into something positive by giving yourself something to look forward to, especially if you've had a disappointment or you've lost something. And if you get into this positive mindset, and I know it's difficult because you've got a lot of very strong emotional cards here and some negative energy, but if you work with your better self, you may find that because of that, the situation begins to flow much more efficiently when you decide to handle it. Something illuminating. Again, the moon is going to bring some things to the surface. Now, maybe you're giving advice or getting it. Maybe you're solving a problem or you're initiating something. Or once again, you're recognizing that you need to take the initiative with a situation. You're going to block yourself with negative emotions, cynicism, what's the use attitude, or not giving, effort towards something you believe in. That's going to manifest your worries, especially if you are overextending yourself. And again, trying to seek that external validation by going out of your way, thinking that you have to do for other people. The more you step out there, the more you're going to realize that other people have to do for themselves. So this is going to be a month about understanding expectation and what you are expected to do for others and vice versa, and where you're overextending and where you realize that you have to take your own success and happiness and destiny in your own hands. Don't allow it to rest on other people and their decisions. So this is a month of a mindset. You are manifesting negatively or positively. Either you are full of regret and loss and disappointment, you're expecting the worst, you're getting the worst, or you are trying to salvage something. You are, trying to look at the bright side of life and attract better, bigger things for yourself. This is also about getting clear, getting wiser, playing the game smarter, thinking about, where you are hurting yourself by getting involved or re-involved with people, with situations, or with habits that only serve to disappoint you and let you down. Now, this is going to be a month of emotional developments. You're going to be dealing with long shot propositions, trying to make the impossible possible. There's going to be a bit of drama in your world this month. And, you're definitely in conflict with self, your head, your heart, your logic, your emotions. And this is also about tying up loose ends, dealing with the past, changing your perspective, looking at others and seeing if you've been blinding yourself to the facts, looking at people and see if they are walking their talk, if their actions are aligning, if you are finding yourself in unnecessary confrontation with others. Now you have 3 major cards, which says that there's going to be, this is going to be a very significant month for you, either emotionally or spiritually or both. And there is a lack of grounding or stability to your situation. Now, it could be that, you're just in formation. Something is still being worked out. The details are still being hammered out. But there is, perhaps a bit of chaos. There's some outer forces at work for you. And some unexpected changes are going to take place because of other people in your world. So this could be a month of some mental confusion. You are thinking with your heart, not just your head, or perhaps instead of your head. This is going to be a month that focuses on expressing your love, your psychic communication, past regrets about situations. In some cases, there's a need to express love rather than just discuss love. Rather than just discuss feelings, you actually express them. You may decide to take control of your emotions, or somebody does. There's a message of stop being a drama queen. And there could be a lack of uncertainty or commitment to a situation. All right, Sagittarius, I hope you enjoyed this reading. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss anything. And of course, you can always book a personal reading at thealchemistastrologer.com.